Welcome to Lee Carvalho's Putting Challenge. I am Carvalho. Now choose a club. You have chosen a 3-wood. May I suggest a putter? 3-wood. Now enter the force of your swing. I suggest feathered touch. You have entered power drive. Now push 7, 8, 7 to swing. Ball is in. Parking lot. Would you like to play again? You have selected no.
Welcome to Speak Geek, your weekly video game podcast. I'm George.
I'm Burnley.
And I'm Travis.
I'm
It's
alright,
our
dude.
Burnley.
We're trying to cut him up right there.
We're all family here.
Our guy Pedro isn't here today. He had to work. Sucks.
Yeah, our tech guru.
Yeah, our
sort
tech
of,
guru.
Sort of tech, our recording king, if you will.
So he's not here. It's just us three today. We'll be filling in a bunch of stuff for the PlayStation 4
Oh,
and his games.
my God.
Oh, this guy's creaming himself
yes,
right
this,
now.
This episode, ladies and gentlemen, for all our listeners here, if you guys have been listening, you know that I enjoy Sony. So today, for them to finally announce the PlayStation 4 and everything, I am ecstatic. So if you don't like PlayStation 4, I probably regret to inform you not to listen, because that's probably all we're going to be talking about on this episode. Don't worry, Xbox fans. We will talk about that when they announce theirs. But since Sony is the king of the news today, like literally, you go to every website, that's all everyone has. It's just a wall of PlayStation 4.
There might be a little few things here and there, but for most part, it's a Sony day, guys. So,
Well, we'll sort of start the news off with something. Well, I guess it's still Sony, but Destiny, Bungie's newest game, was officially unveiled on Monday. And you guys care about Destiny at all?
I saw the trailer to it. I really, I hope it's not just another Halo copy.
Well, did you read? It looks really cool because like they're sort of describing it as an MMO FPS. So it's gonna have the Borderlands like kind of co-op where you will kind of jump into games and you'll run dungeons-esque stuff on planets in our solar system because it takes place in our solar system. And so you create a class, your character, they have a class. They have the Hunter, I think, is one of the ones they listed, and then other stuff. And then you go into a world, and then it's going to require an always connected internet, because the reason they're doing that is because you're going to always be connected to the universe, meaning that, I mean, this might just be their form of DRM, I don't really know, but it's the fact that people can jump in your game, you can jump into other people's game, and you can like run dungeons. They haven't really kind of clarified that, but then you can run kind of planet levels with other people, and I mean,
It's cool. It looked really cool, but I really have to see more about it. So far, to me, it's just like when some of the like monsters popped up, it's like it kind of resembles Covenant.
It's funny. A lot of people are saying, why didn't they just do this for Halo? But I mean, of course, it probably comes down to licensing, and since Bungie wanted to break away, do multi-platform.
True.
But
True. Well, multi-platform. I think Destiny's just a PlayStation title, a Sony title, isn't
no,
it?
it's they announced it's multi-platform. It's going to launch on the PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, and other future console, which is the next Xbox. They just announced today that it will simultaneously launch on the PS3 and the PS4 at the exact same time. Like, so on the same day, they'll be on the stores.
Now, will we be able to play people on the PS3 and the PS4?
They haven't announced that yet, but they did say that the PlayStation, like Sony's consoles, will have exclusive stuff, and what that means, who knows? I don't know.
So no, you won't be able to play.
I mean, I think that
They would have made a big deal about it if they.
I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think honestly they might be holding that out for Microsoft to be like, Xbox Live's connected between the two. Maybe something big because it's Bungie, so I'm sure they got good ties with Microsoft still.
Probably, I could see that.
That'd be my guess. Is their big kind of thing is it's gonna probably be better on that console. Just a guess.
Okay.
Now, I'd like to actually start things off with the controller.
Oh yeah. Yes. Now we're getting into the Sony stuff, everybody. Here it comes. The flood of it all. Expect it. Expect it.
The controller, how it looks the same ish, with that pad on the back, the pad on the front, and then we got that share button in the back of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like it's in the back,
Is it
back
in the
top
back?
corner.
Yeah,
Top corner.
okay.
So we have that share button in the back. Now, I think it looks ugly.
You know, I kind of agree with you. But I like Sony's format in the DualShock. Like, I love the DualShock. It's a very good, fine controller, and they're kind of sticking with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it problem.
That's perfectly
Like,
fine.
Pretty sure since the PS1.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, well, they tried it with the PS3 with the boomerang thing, and everyone's like, what the hell is this? So they redesigned it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But, you know, honestly, I'll admit, I think Xbox has the perfect controller. Like, the triggers, everything about it except that crappy D-pad is... well, I like how on the PlayStation's brands or even Nintendo's, it's like a button click.
Okay.
While the D-pad on it's like kind of just a giant. You're on a stick. Like if you ever pull it up, it's just like a little stick in the center there that kind of moves, like another joystick. Kind of thing.
I get you.
So, besides that, I think the 360 has a perfect controller. Like that controller is very well designed.
I agree.
I think it's a good controller. But I think the PS3 is way better.
All right.
I think it just feels a lot more the Xbox controller just feels a lot smoother in your hand, especially playing a first person shooter where the triggers are they just feel right. Well, as opposed to playing a shooter on a PS3, I don't like.
I agree. I mean, like I said, the controller honestly didn't phase me too much. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they're going to do with that touchpad because, I mean, you saw the start and select button on it. You also saw the PlayStation Home button right below that. So it'd be like interesting. What are the? I mean, the only thing I was talking to one of the guys at work today. Like we're like, well, maybe it's going to be like used for the Angry Birds-esque that they're going to try and push for PlayStation Mobile. Like where if you download it on your phone, like you download the Angry Birds on your phone, it'll probably be linked to your PlayStation account, so you can download it on PlayStation, and then you can use the touchpad as the like kind of touchscreen.
Probably.
That's pretty good.
That was our guess as far as kind of how to then push those mobile games onto consoles. Like just, you know, not to do anything different, but just to kind of give people another revenue for them to get money. That was our little example of it. That would work. But what do you guys think about the share button?
The share button.
Yeah, on the share button on the back. That was like kind of their big thing during the conference was they were like social
media.
It's
awesome, really. Like, I mean, there's been so many moments like that you just kind of like something happened like in a fighting game, even if it's just some stupid glitch that pissed you off or whatever. Like it's like you want to share that, and especially if like you know like streaming games, like live streaming games and like let's plays and things like that are getting bigger and bigger over time, and so is like league play, and so I think that's really going to boost like their like what's the word?
Bridge the gap or boost
No,
their interest in it?
It's gonna boost it's gonna boost the interest for people who want to do live streaming and things. Like if you can just upload your game as you play it at like to YouTube and have people watch it and comment, or Twitch, which is the big one, then I don't know. I think that's really fun.
I kind of agree with that because I remember the big thing about Just Cause 2. You guys remember that one? They had on Sony on PlayStation. They had the exclusive upload to YouTube thing about it, so you could directly upload whatever crazy shit you did in that game directly to YouTube through the game instantly. And that was only on PlayStation for anybody who played it. And from what I heard, that was everyone's kind of favorite feature of the game was like you could jump out of a plane, skyhook a helicopter, kick a guy out, drive it somewhere, then skyhook down to the planet. Like you do so much, and then people would just instantly upload it. So, I mean, I think it's an interesting idea, and I think the cool thing about it was they were like, if you can play a game for free, stream it through the Gaikai system. So try a demo of a game, and you can tell people how cool it is by simply clicking the share button, and then you can throw it onto your Facebook and all that stuff and kind of link it. But then you can also send it to your friends directly, instantly. So if you're playing PlayStation, and I played like the Uncharted 4 demo, and I'm like, dude, this game's awesome. I can click the share button, send it to you directly, so you can then instantly play it right away. Like you don't have to do anything, you don't have to download it. You just get pretty much a notification from this, and then you can then stream it instantly. I found that little tidbit to be cool. It was weird that they started that conference out with that too. You guys remember? You see that?
Yeah,
they just not like just the controller. They were like, here's the controller.
Yeah.
And
the console's nowhere to be seen.
Which which is weird. Which makes me think they just probably haven't finalized the design for that thing.
The console?
Yeah, it's
Probably not. Or I'm just saying this like they want something to show at E3. Honestly,
I agree with that.
because they just threw like a lot of shit out there, and then it's like,
Well, it's to get the buzz for PlayStation. Like,
oh yeah, to get the buzz for PlayStation, but then you have that fact that like when they go to E3 and they leak everything out, like kind of like what else is there to like people even be paying attention to Sony after that? And like, no, I still don't think people are gonna pay too much attention to Sony now that they've released their stuff today.
really?
So when
That's
it comes to E3, it's like, well, we already saw, not seen the PS3 because obviously we all want to know how it looks. But as far as like everything that's important about it, like most things that are important about it, it was pretty much delivered today. So now people are gonna be all like, we want. What is it? We want to see Xbox. What's Xbox got in store for us?
I kind of might disagree with you a little, not just because I'm a fanboy on this whole thing, but it's the fact that today the hashtag PS4 and hashtag PlayStation Memories. Did you get that tweet I sent you?
Which one?
I don't know.
The Kingdom Hearts one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, those PlayStation Memories and hashtag PS4 were the top trending things all day today. It started at 6 in the morning. Just those two things were the number one and number two. So the interest in PlayStation definitely is huge. So come towards E3, like you said, I know everyone's going to be excited now to see what Xbox has. Like a lot of Americans, at least here, like they want to see it because they're all Xbox gamers.
Of course.
But the thing is I still think that it's going to still go strong for Sony because now, we've seen the hardware. We don't know everything. But it also comes down to what exclusives they have. What games are their first parties working on? Like, they announced the new Infamous game today. I'm an Infamous fan.
I like Infamous. It's just that how did I not see that shit coming?
They also announced the new Killzone.
Yeah.
And then they announced the big one, which is exclusive for people who are Blizzard fans who couldn't play it on the computer, which is Diablo 3. It's coming to consoles finally. And it's exclusive to Sony's products because of a deal, of course, they worked through, which I bet you anything has to do with their real money auction house. And I guarantee you that's probably where Microsoft drew the line because they're very strict on Xbox Live policies. So I bet you that's how kind of Sony got it. Just throwing that out there. Just my opinion. So I think going into E3, I think buzz will still be high for PlayStation, but it's going to be not higher. I think it'll still be high.
Oh, okay.
I think the buzz for Xbox probably will be very high if they have not revealed the console at this time. No. By that time. Because everyone's going to be like, we got to see this now. Because at that point, all eyes will be on Microsoft to be like, Sony revealed theirs in February. It was hot. It was big. Now, what do you have? Because now at that point, they're like 4 months. That's like 4 months away now still.
Yeah.
So they'll have 4 months to come up with something to just blow the doors open for this.
Or fuck it up. Whichever.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear the rumors about Xbox. I'm very curious. I mean, I personally would like to get both. I enjoy both consoles, and everyone's saying this, that with these consoles, it's looking like, you only need one console.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the exclusives they both have. And also, I have friends on both,
True.
Like,
or you can get a Wii U and then just,
and not have any friends or anything. and play.
Hey, all of us are going to get a Wii U.
I'm gonna probably go.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about it first. So where do you guys want to kind of start with this? You guys want to kind of talk about?
Didn't we kind of start?
Well, I mean, you guys want to talk about the specs now? I mean, we got the games we can discuss. I mean,
the specs we could touch a little bit. We could
really want to talk about the specs.
I mean, because it's all we could just say. Look, it's just x86, right?
The
8 gig RAM.
Yeah, that was actually the big thing they were very proud of. They're like, this thing's got 8 gigs of RAM, which the big thing on the PlayStation was you only had 256 megabytes of RAM because the power relied in cell processing for the time, which Ken Kutaragi, the father of the PlayStation, believed was the future, which, as you can tell, no one figured it out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he's the only one who knows how to program cell processors because no one knows how to do that damn thing except for like Naughty Dog and Guerrilla Games and Sony Santa Monica. Yeah. But so that's about it. But that was where it was all the processing power was supposed to be, but on a regular computer, it computes in the RAM. And so since it didn't have the RAM, it ran out of memory the quickest. Everyone complains about putting games on it because it's like the PS3 just can't handle this memory. Like Skyrim, everyone remembers the whole debacle with that. Yeah, so they had to tote, they're like, we got 8 gigs of the RAM in this damn thing. So there is plenty. Not only that, but they even have a backup processing chip to do all the downloading stuff. So
Yeah.
that doesn't even compute the gaming.
I hadn't even heard about that.
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? They said pretty much what you can do is you can download a game from the store, toss it in the background, play your game, and it will download while you're playing games, online, offline, whatever you want. You can play it, and your game will still download because it's going to have another chip in the console to do that automatically.
That's beautiful.
Now
'Cause that was one of the most frustrating things.
I
about
know.
the
I know. You had to
PlayStation.
leave it at the
It's like,
frickin' XMB. But this is also probably going to blow your mind even more. They announced that it's going to be linked to everything from the Vita to your phones and all that. So if you would like, you can go online, and they said that they're going to, they don't really announce if it's going to be an app or not, but you can go on your phone, you can purchase a game on the store, game you want to play or something, or if you want to stream something, you can put it in your queue from the store, and then when you can do is you can boot the PlayStation up from your phone remotely while you're at work. Download it while you're away, so when you get home, your game is now ready to go, downloaded and everything by the time you get home.
Okay, so they're copying Steam.
Pretty much. Wait, Steam does that?
Yeah, with their app. Yeah, you can download the game and you can buy it.
Oh, I knew you could purchase it. I know you could purchase it and queue it up, but I didn't know you could.
No, yeah.
You could set it to.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the future. I mean,
it's good.
It's convenient. So, but yeah. So those were kind of the specs. They really didn't release too much outside of it. They're just kind of toting that a little bit. I'm sure we'll probably get more specs leaks as the days go on.
What else we got?
We can talk about throw the games out, or we can talk about Gaikai. What do you guys want? What do we want first, games or Gaikai?
Gaikai.
Gaikai was their huge investment they made last year, $380 million, when they are in the black, and everyone was like, what the hell are you doing, Sony? That is a ton of money, and you don't have it to spare. Well, it had to be for PlayStation 4, obviously, which they have now openly said that Gaikai will pretty much power everything. It will power PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 3 games to stream remotely to the PlayStation. You can then stream that to your console. And they said in time, they're also hoping to have that on phones. So you can play your PlayStation 4 games, PlayStation 3 games, PlayStation 2 games, and PlayStation 1 games on your phone remotely. How do you not like that?
No,
how do you not like that
The idea is cool. But I just don't know how well it's gonna work.
How well it's
That's my problem. It's not that it's not a cool idea. It's that.
But I hope it works really well. I hope that it's like a game changer, because
I don't think it'll be a game
That's
changer.
what they need.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think it'll be a game changer. But I think it's gonna be that extra little feature that people like. I mean, come on, look at Nintendo.
Wait, how much did they spend?
380 mil.
380 mil for a little spec? No,
No,
380 is for a game changer, dog.
This is on everything. Gaikai, this is powering everything. You won't download demos. They said you'll stream the demos if you want. That way you don't have to sit there, put it in the queue, and wait for these, because these demos are gonna be large. Like, these are gonna be probably 2-3 gigs of demos now. These aren't your small ones. You're getting of a gig where you have to wait, and everyone gets annoyed at that. These are big games. So I can bet you anything. Like, they said, this is gonna handle the demos. Not only that. So you can just stream it. Everything will be powered through Gaikai, so it's all streaming. I mean, sure, everyone's been questioning, well, what kind of internet do you need? And
kind of internet,
I mean,
what's your game catalog? Because that's what they're
Yeah.
really pushing for. That's the problem with, we're not backwards compatible, but we're going to be streaming shit on, the cloud, and then you could play these games. What's your catalog? What if you don't have the games that I want to play? It's kind of like, to me, it's useless if you don't have that substantial catalog that everybody wants. You know what I mean?
True, I get what you're saying.
That's. I mean, as far as for games go, that's. I mean, demos, that's cool and stuff like that. You don't have to download and all that stuff. But when it comes to you'll be able to stream the games, okay, if. Say I want to play, for some reason, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they don't have it on there, and I have to, and then again, it comes to the point where it's I have to plug back in my PS3 and all that crap, and then, it's just an extra hardware that we have to keep, some people are going to have to keep on to if they want to, especially what I was saying, the long generation that we've had. This is the longest generation that we have for gaming, that we have so many games. A lot of people have so many games, at least the ones that don't trade them in a lot and stuff like that, right? Have so many games that it pretty much at this point, trading in the games, like getting another PS, like the PS4, and pretty much not being able to play your PS3 games, it hurts a lot.
Well, I think the big thing is, unfortunately, I don't want to be mean or anything here, but you got to deal with that.
You're mean.
It's because a lot of consoles, and I can say this now, Microsoft probably will not follow backwards compatibility either.
Well, probably not.
It's cost, mainly because I guess my buddy told me today at work, he's like, I guess they just filed a bunch of trademarks for like something cloud for streaming. It's streaming related, meaning that they'll probably do something similar regarding streaming. But like I said, those are rumors, and we'll talk about those another day. Microsoft.
If they do the same thing, I'm gonna be mad, just as mad as I am with the PS3.
It comes down to hardware too. Like, you have to remember that the reason why PlayStation 3 was so expensive is because they had the ability, the components in there to do that, to play PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games. Now we're at a point where this console is going to be expensive. Like, it's supposedly being reported to be about $500. That's going to be for the biggest SKU, which means the biggest hard drive. So if it costs that much, if they had PS3 components, which would be the cell processors, PS2 components, which means just regular processing power, down to PlayStation 1, how expensive is that damn thing going to cost?
I'm not worried about PlayStation 2 nor 1. I'm worried about PlayStation 3.
So that they would have to like kind of put in a whole nother component, because like I said earlier, they that ran cell processing. They turned the PlayStation 4 more into a computer so developers can develop on it easier. Like, that was the big thing, is everyone loved Xbox because it's so easy to work with. It was so and Sony was like, oh crap, like no one got cell processing. It was a different form. But Microsoft, it was so much like a computer that everyone was just like, hell yeah, this is easy. This is just C++, C#. I can do it all. So it was that thing, and so to add that on, I honestly think you probably would have added at least another $200 to your to the PS4, and I don't think Sony can afford to do that.
The thing is, I want them to stream. There is no reason I should have to have a wall of games, though it looks cool, right? Like, I want them to stream all the PS3 games. I want them to have these games up there. But the problem is that, like, I really like Dante's Inferno. Do I have, like, should I have any expectation that within a year or two that Dante's Inferno for PS3 is streaming off their service? I wouldn't mind paying again for it. But how basically all these games that I have, like, I can expect that I'm not going to see them again. And that's I'm just saying, because the same thing would happen from PS2 to PS3, right? Mm-hmm. They said like, oh well, it's not backwards compatible. Raise a fuss about it. Ultimately, you're okay. But then but throughout the whole time that they're saying like, oh, like, it's rumored that the PS3 is going to let you download PS2 games, which is great. Even PS1 games, right? When the store launched, that's when we went to E3 or whatever. Like, but this was such a slow rollout that it didn't make it worth it for me. Like,
it comes down to publishers. Like,
no,
that's
I understand
the big thing.
There's legal problems.
I was gonna say that's the big thing is the publishers are the ones who have to kind of go out of their way. Like, Sony can talk to everyone they want and have good partnerships with, but if publishers don't find a good reason to kind of reformat, because they got to put a team on that to reformat for that ability to do that, then that's why you're out of luck. So I bet you anything, you're going to see all of Sony's catalog. You're going to see Uncharted 1, 2, 3, God of War 3, God of War HD. You're going to see all Sony published games. I guarantee that. Because Sony is probably like thinking the same thing. We've got to have these games ready for these people. Like, I bet you anything online will probably work too, so you can stream it and play online with Uncharted 3 for those people. But you're gonna like the games you're worried about are gonna be third-party publishers, and that's gonna come up to them. Honestly, I mean, I hope that probably doesn't answer your question or what you're worried, because I'm with you. But it's that's just what it comes down to. Is like, so like Marvel vs. Capcom, like George says, if he wants to play that, that's gonna come down to Capcom to be like, all right, Gaikai or Gaikai, here's
and I'm not cool with it.
So, I mean, like I said, I bet you anything Sony probably wants. We want all those games there. We want all the hundreds of thousands of games we have on there. That will make our servers bigger because we want our fans to play it. But it's going to come down to they're going to be like, hey, Capcom, we need you to put this here. And they're like, yeah, but we don't really think it's a viable area yet. We're going to test the watch. Something like how the Vita is being kind of left out to dry is because a lot of publishers, like Sony still...
Oh, it's not dead yet?
It's not. It's probably another month or two it'll be.
Yeah.
Sony's trying, like, with all their games, like a lot of the games that you see on this thing are Sony published. A lot of third-party companies just aren't jumping on it because they're like, we're not seeing money there, and that's what it comes down to, is a money game in this day and age. And like I said, so Sony will do that. You want God of War? I bet you're gonna have it. You want Ascension, the newest one coming out? That'll probably be there as well. And like I said, the multiplayer will probably still be supported on the PS4 or streaming or whatever, however you're doing it. Now, you want to play Call of Duty? That of course probably will be there too, because I'm sure Activision will jump on it because they got the money. All right, you want to play Wet on PS3? I bet that's the game.
To play Wet.
That probably.
Yeah.
That probably won't be supported, or it probably will take a very long time. So
let's see.
I mean,
yeah.
It's not getting
all this. Just kind of pushes me more to, like, you know, over the last year or two, I've just been doing mostly PC games, and like, this is just one more reason for me to just like stay there, to like just go PC for the whole time. You know,
except with the Wii U, right?
Well, except for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Wii U, well, the Wii U is offering more. The Wii U is offering me a ton of things and telling me, like, oh, well, you can download all these games you had before. You can, we'll give it to you. If you bought it on the Wii console, we'll give it to you for cheaper. And you can play it on this new gamepad. You know, like, it's giving me a whole nother experience. Whereas PS4 is offering me the same thing that PS3 is with a share button.
We don't... The thing is, we don't really know yet. Like
we kind of know.
What about PlayStation?
We kind of know.
What about PlayStation Plus right now? They're giving so many games every month free.
But they're not going to continue to do that. That's not going to keep. They're doing that now because people don't get it, because people aren't getting PlayStation Plus, which works. It's just great if you have it, right?
Yeah, it's
but
good.
Then that's not going to keep happening.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I don't know. I know I'm gonna get the PS4. I know I'm not, like,
damn right,
eventually. Eventually, like, it's not going to matter. Like,
but for the time being, it does.
But yeah, it matters for the time where I could be getting a PS4 this year, and like, oh well, I'll sell my PS3, be a PS4. I got all these games, and whatever sparse catalog that Sony will have, because they will have a sparse catalog like they always do.
Yeah.
You know, for the first year or two or three.
Like,
I'm going to be able to play some things.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy this console and not be able to have games to play.
I'm with you. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Vita.
That's my biggest thing. Like George just sneezed over there. The Vita. That's actually what excites me the most about Gaikai. Kind of on the subject of streaming still.
No, I meant, like, you know, the Vita. That's you know,
Oh.
we bought the system and they have nothing on there.
And it's still breaking my heart, because it's funny. Little tangent real quick. Every time I go online, it's really funny to read the comments about people, because a lot of people, whenever there's a Vita article, they'll be like, man, this system's dead in the water. And the guy will be below him will be like, dude, like, have you tried this? He's like, because I said the same thing, and I borrowed my friends or played my friends, and he's like, it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
There's no games. Yeah, I get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. We need the third party support, and I don't know. But back to the main subject about the Vita. It's exciting for me because this now means that in like a household that I have with my girlfriend, we can now put on a TV show or something like that, and I can now stream the game, the new God of War, the new Uncharted, to my Vita while sitting next to her in the same room doing this, rather than she's going to be in the bedroom watching a TV show when I'm going to be in the living room playing on the PS3 or PS4 now. So that, in my opinion, actually makes me very excited to just be able to still do that. So because
you can buy a Wii U.
I could buy a Wii U. Can I play my God of Wars?
Now, why are you trying to plug this Wii U? This whole
I'm just trying to josh him. You know?
I know you. I know you. Did you see me? I told him a text. I was like, "Can we start a little earlier?" Nah.
This is joshing him the whole day.
I know. He's my hermano, dude.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now we'll go kind of to the games. Get this show.
The one I saw and I was excited for, which pretty much the only one I was excited for, was it Clank? What was it called? The one with like the little
robot?
The little robot thing that
builds
himself from like.
Yeah, that was where was it? Watch the
robot
Killzone Media.
I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah,
you're talking. It's the new one from Studio Japan, right?
Yes.
Oh gosh, what was that? Yeah, it was Knack.
Knack.
Yeah.
Knack. Yes.
Knack.
And he builds himself?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's-
Oh, okay.
The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We're back, guys. If you didn't guess. So the games, they announced quite a few. So I'm gonna just kind of start on the list I got here going.
We start with NAC because that's what we start.
We're gonna start on NAC? All right, we're gonna start with NAC, which is coming from Studio Japan, Sony's owned Japanese studio. That one seemed the most creative. Definitely, it didn't really show much about what's going on with it, but it looks like the big thing is you're gonna be thrown in a world, and you're gonna be able to go from really small to really, really big, and solve puzzles that way.
I could see a puzzle game out of it too. Yeah.
Well,
So
you know,
some puzzle concepts,
fighting, and all that kind of stuff.
You know. But it definitely what caught my attention is the creativity of this
Oh,
game.
yeah.
It's just something different, and that's what, that's what I guess Sony's a lot of their exclusive stuff they're known for. They're just different. We got Uncharted, we got Uncharted, we got Little Big Planet, I love Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet.
So like stuff like that. That's what. So I think this when I saw this trailer, I thought I think this is gonna be great. So far it's looking to be like I'm gonna pick it up if I get a PS4.
Well,
of course.
it's from Studio Japan, who if you know the games, they did Patapon on the PSP.
Patapon is awesome.
Yeah, so they're going to be very creative in this sense.
Yes.
And I know this game will probably be very niche. Like it probably won't sell because of the way it looks to the hardcore, but I think it will be very niche, and I think the people who do buy it will love it. That's
okay.
because it's Studio Japan.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the first game that showed up yet again. These are all these trailers, so we don't have much in-depth scoop on them. But the next one they kind of showed was not the next one in order, but the next one, like I said, I'm going off this list I have here, was Killzone Shadowfall, which was announced for the PlayStation 4. Any Killzone? Yes.
No, I have 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
2 and 3, but
I enjoy the series.
it's,
It's fun. It's cool.
I enjoy it. I think like I said, that's for you shooters fans. I'll pick it up because I like it. I like those military shooters like that, futuristic stuff.
yeah, it wasn't. I didn't find it.
It looked gorgeous if you saw the
Exciting.
trailer.
Well-
I liked all the movements and stuff, like when they're like vaulting over things
That-
and
that-
like, the gun moving. And
That
stuff
is
like that.
Guerrilla's kind of special. That's why everyone loved 2. It separated it from the other ones because you had weight. Did you play 2 at all? I'm sure you have. Yeah, that's why everyone liked 2 is because they had weight to it. And the thing everyone disliked about 3 was they removed that weight and they made it kind of more generic of a Call of Duty-esque. So you still had that stuff there, but you didn't have any weight. You just felt like you were sprinting through the battlefield. Where in 2 you had like all this. You just felt you were a heavy soldier with all this armor on, and that was kind of why a lot of people liked it. So it looks like they're kind of bringing it back a little, trying to bring that.
More interested on Infamous.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even though I kind of saw that coming regardless. But
I think we all did because Sucker Punch has been quiet for so long.
Yeah.
Like so long. It only made sense that they would do another one.
And I'm glad
It's-
Cole isn't back.
Yeah, me too. I'm very glad they did
Oh, he's not.
it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Cole is not back.
Yes. All right. I spoil everything in all these episodes. Cole dies at the end of 2. If you guys have not
Okay.
played it, it's spoiled. Deal with it. If you haven't played it by now, well, shame on you because
Shame on you.
the game's been out for quite a few years now, and Sucker Punch has been very quiet and which has just been awkward. Which everyone knew they were either doing a Vita game, which was doubtful, or they were with the new hardware and they were playing around with it. So
Yeah.
they announced the new one, Infamous Second Son is what it's called. Of course, we don't know who's in it, what it means or anything, but all it did was the trailer was new kids that looked like they had just gotten their powers, like how the first one or the second one ended was he gave the powers to everyone in the world. Or like if you had kind of like was it a gene similar to like the X-Men thing where you had like a specific gene in your body, you were given powers. Is that how that worked?
I think so.
Yeah. So some people like powers ignited, and
Well, I'm
and
glad it's actually
that's-
fire this time and not electricity
yeah.
as well.
So it shows them like kind of breaking a bunch of guys out of a police headquarters.
No.
Which a lot of speculation on the internet's rumored that it is a mock version of Seattle. It's kind of what they're going for, maybe.
Okay, I
Seattle?
see that.
Seattle.
I guess I see
Okay.
that.
So that was another big one that everyone was excited to see. Jonathan Blow, who is the famed creator for Braid. Anyone like Braid?
Braid.
Yeah.
Braid? Yeah, good old Xbox Live one.
Yeah.
He announced he is doing a exclusive for Sony called The Witness.
Oh, The Witness is going to be exclusive for them.
Yes, they got that
Wow.
one, which that's going to help push their online store. I bet you.
I'm sure.
They're going to be
I'm
like,
really sure.
so yeah, they got that exclusive. Media Molecule came out. They didn't show off their game or anything like that. All they did was pretty much come out with the PlayStation Move, saying that the PlayStation Move. Unfortunately, I'm with you on this one, Burnley. They pretty much said that, don't worry, there's no new Move coming out. It will be, if you have one now, it's still fully supported. So all your money won't go to waste if you own one. PlayStation 4 will carry it over. The technology works exactly the same, they said. But so just expect stuff. So he came on and he kind of demonstrated what they could do. So like he started chipping away at stuff, chipping away at ice, showing what they're gonna do with the Move. It's unfortunate, but the reason they're doing it is probably because Sony invested so much in that, and that thing just ain't doing anything for them.
No, not really.
Just my guess. Next one, Quantic Dreams didn't debut a new game, but they debuted their new engine, their tech demo for the game, which they seem to be in a love affair right now with Sony because they did Heavy Rain for them, but they also did
Indigo
Prophecies, which is on Xbox. And then Sony scooped them up for an exclusive, which was Heavy Rain. And ever since then, David Cage, the lead over there, he's had nothing but
Prophecy is also on PS2.
Well, yeah, it was on PS2, but everyone I know only played it on Xbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, because I could have sworn it was, but everyone I knew, they said they played it on Xbox.
Okay.
I don't know. But David Cage has pretty much had nothing good to say about Sony, which he loves the console. Like, he said the PlayStation 3 was the best thing he's ever worked with, because I take it he's figured out cell processing. So, I wouldn't doubt it that he's probably going strong with that love affair with Sony still. So he showed off the new tech demo. I think, if I remember reading right, I'm not really sure, but it looks like I read somewhere that Beyond Two Souls is now coming to the PS4 as well. Have you guys read that anywhere?
I have not.
Maybe I misquoted that. Maybe I'm misreading that somewhere. But I read that it will Beyond Souls will launch on the PS4 as well once it comes out. So it'll be on PS3 for sure. But if you own a PS4, you can also pick it up there. So I don't know. Like I said, don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong, but I could have sworn I read that somewhere.
Okay. Cool.
Capcom revealed its next gen engine called Pantarai?
Yeah, Pantarai.
Which Yoshinori Ono, everyone's beloved Street Fighter producer, came out and revealed it. He said he's not talking Street Fighter, they're talking the next engine, and they're showing off their new game called Deep Down, which is a medieval action RPG.
Yeah, the trailer seemed pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure that's not gameplay.
Yeah, it's not gameplay. I can guarantee it.
At all.
No. So that was their big thing. He's quoted by saying it's the next step evolutionary for their MT framework, which powers Capcom's current generation.
Yeah.
So, cool little thing for Capcom fans. Square Enix took the stage, kind of said we have a long history with PlayStation and Sony. We're going to continue that with Final Fantasy. Burnley and me are probably the ones that are excited about that. I love you, my Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Unfortunately, I was disappointed with 13, but I have redeeming factors for them. It's one of those sweet spot companies.
Sweet spot. See, I feel sorry for you guys for having sweet spot for a company that really shits out a game so slow that you pretty much
they make missteps. Every company has a misstep, I think.
No, Burnley, back me up here. Burnley.
I know you haven't been very happy with Square Enix.
It always comes back to that every cast, man.
I'm telling you,
No, it's not, I'm not just talking about Kingdom Hearts.
No, I know Square Enix.
Yeah, it's just it's Square Enix in general.
It's not that they're slow, really. It's just they.
Actually, it is because they're slow because they came out and said we know we are slow. Yes, they did. They've came out and
we get a game from them at least once a year. Well, at least two games a year. When Dragon Warrior came out.
Yeah,
we also had Final Fantasy.
The big thing now is since they bought Eidos, or the IO Interactive catalog, which is now Tomb Raider, they're probably going to be living on those guys. So they're going to let the Japanese guys, the Final Fantasy team, probably take their sweet time now, since they don't need. Before it used to
even
be,
more.
Before it used to be. We need games because we need to thrive here. But now that they purchased them, they're like, hey, we got Deus Ex now, Hitman out, Tomb Raider's coming out. They're like, we really don't need need a Final Fantasy game because we got our British guys.
We
working
don't
on
need.
it. So
See, that's
Yet.
not. I'm not
Yeah.
liking
Don't
that from the
start.
company. Yeah.
all right, moving on.
This kind of sucks.
Watch Dogs is on PS4. Not a shocker, knowing that it was last year when they showed it off. Said it will be for future generations.
Mm-hmm.
So not really a shocker that that's coming there. They just showed off a new demo of that game, which, yet again, still looks very pretty.
Pretty.
Blizzard.
Well, that's the big
Blizzard.
news. That's the big news.
This is big news. I honestly kind of think because when Chris Metzen came out and spoke, he said that they came to a deal. Diablo 3 will be on PS3 and PS4. Will launch simultaneously. Now they said that. Now we talked about this, I think, off the cast for a little bit, but it's because I'm sure they came to some agreement to allow the Real Money Auction House on there, which Xbox does not allow because they have very strict policies regarding Xbox Live and how it runs. So I'm sure they probably wanted some cut. But similar to like how Gabe Newell got Steam on Sony's platform as well, I'm sure Sony worked a deal with them to allow their auction house on there so they can probably get money from it. I don't know what the deal is, of course. We will probably never know. But that actually I found very surprising because he came out and he went on to say he kind of hinted at that this won't be the only game we see from them.
Exactly, which is big pull for Sony.
Oh yeah,
at this point.
huge.
So it gives a very considerate amount of edge against the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as that we'll probably be seeing more games from Blizzard on future Sony.
Definitely. It's interesting to think about. It makes you wonder. It's like, well, then what are you guys gonna do? Because you guys only have StarCraft, the Untitled Titan MMO, and WoW still kind of going. What are you guys doing that you're gonna push on this thing? I mean, maybe they'll put those games on. I don't fucking know, but
No.
no, they probably won't. But
No.
but it's just interesting because, like I said, it just was weird. He hinted out he's like that they have a deal and they seem to be probably going to do something else. I don't know. It'd be interesting. That was big news. Let's see. Oh, Destiny. We talked about that at the beginning of the cast. Is officially on PS4. Yet again, not a shocker. They showed off another gameplay trailer. Not really gameplay, but another trailer of it. Saying that PlayStation will have some exclusive items. Also, it'll launch simultaneously on the same day as the PS3 version, so it's going to be on both consoles. Burnley, you brought up a good thing off when we weren't talking on air here. If the server will be allowed to play both, so if you'll be playing PlayStation 3 players.
And yeah,
I think we kind of came to the conclusion that we
yeah.
don't think it will for PlayStation.
No, not at all.
Most likely for Xbox, though, I think.
No.
Really? You don't think anything for
No.
Xbox?
Well, I don't know. I doubt that they're gonna release for both Xbox and Xbox 360. Do you think so?
They already announced it for 360.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
They
anything
revealed
about
they revealed it on Monday that it'll be for PS3, Xbox
Oh.
360, and then since they couldn't talk about the next generation, they said, and it'll be on future generation
Okay,
platforms.
so that one again. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I think is that there'll be some kind of connectivity or whatever. If this is like you described it as like an MMO FPS or something like that, then we'll have some sharing of stats, or we'll have some central playtime or something. I don't know. I think we can expect, but I don't think that you'll be directly playing with people on other consoles or people in like the same family of consoles at all.
Okay, interesting. I honestly would love that. I think that'd be so cool to unite them.
I think it would be really cool.
But I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, mainly because you're releasing on 4 platforms, 2 Sony, 2 Microsoft, and it's just like, Bungie, you can't unite one of these 2 of these consoles together. That just seems dumb in my opinion. Like, I mean, true, I get the generation gap and blah blah blah, but I mean, if I can play on my PC at medium res and you can play on your PC at ultra res and we can play together, I don't see a reason why we can't just link the servers. I mean, look at Eve, even Dust. That game, Dust 514, is running on the same servers that Eve's playing on, and they're all playing in the exact same world, real time. So, I really hope Bungie does something, whether it be on PlayStation or Xbox, they unite it in some way, because that just seems dumb not to unite those two. Because I think
You mean 2 within the family?
yeah, 2
right?
within the family.
Oh, okay.
Because it just seems dumb because people that are stuck on the old generation just because they don't want to upgrade or they don't have money to do that, invest in that yet. they're not going to be playing with the people who now have invested in the new generation. So now I think you're just alienating a group of people because some people that are on PS4 or Xbox 720 are just kind of like, well, I don't know why I want to purchase the new one because all my friends are still on the old one. Or you get it and you're like 20 people in the universe because everyone's playing on the old. It just seems weird. So I mean, like I said, that's another talk for another day. Probably we can have Pedro's little sarcastic jokes thrown in there.
Missing that bastard right
round it up. Unreal 4 was shown running on it for the first time. Well, for second time since they showed the Good Samaritan. If you guys enjoy Unreal Engine, they showed the new kind of tech demo for that running real time. On PS4, which looked very pretty. But yeah,
well, pretty much. I think the biggest thing we kind of talked about it a little bit, but not so much. Is the biggest thing is that it's not backwards compatible.
Oh, in your eyes.
And what do you mean in my eyes?
No, that's the biggest thing in your eyes.
I say in your eyes.
In my yeah.
What's the biggest thing for you, Travis?
The biggest thing for me really is the support from the third parties. Like we're not seeing it on the Vita, so I was really worried that a lot of companies weren't going to go into this. So when Epic showed their tech demo running on that thing, that got me excited because it shows that Epic is now interested. But then again, Epic never really showed that they weren't interested in Sony. It was just the fact that they're kind of like, we have such a good relationship with Microsoft. We kind of really, why ruin that? Why? What is this thing?
I'm just.
Why pee in your cereal? Or something?
Yeah. What? Okay, why pee in your cereal?
Yeah. What is the saying? Like,
I don't know.
Why have someone pee in your cereal? I don't know. There's like a saying. I don't know.
Okay, guys.
What are you saying?
No. What I was referring to as far as like the stuff that was announced today. The stuff that was announced today, like obviously that's important to me too, the whole third party thing. What was announced today that was the biggest thing for me, is that the biggest news for me, whether good or bad, which is bad, that it's not backwards compatible. Right?
I get you.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing.
That seemed to be a lot of internet commenters I saw too. A lot of people want that backwards compatibility, and I feel you. Like I really get you guys. I would love to just undo my PlayStation, upload all my saves to the cloud, boot up my PlayStation, download all my saves from the cloud, and be like, let's do this Uncharted 3 multiplayer because I still love that multiplayer. But it's just unfortunate because, like I said, I would love to do that. And it sucks to see it going away. I mean,
it's just that. Well, let's think about it. It's just like it's a move that yet again they decided to do well, as far as like was the PS3. You can't play. Mm-hmm. Well, eventually, like what is it, a year after or so, right? A year after.
Yeah, when they cut
the PS2 compatibility.
It was it a year? Like a year and a half.
Yeah,
it was when they announced the slightly slimmer. They got rid of like the 600 gigs and they released the 80 gig version.
Okay, so 600. You mean 60, right?
No,
60.
No,
the first ones they went 600. They're
600, 60 gig.
No, it was 20 and 40.
20 and 40.
No, I thought it was bigger.
20, 40, and then a 60 model soon followed, and then an old 80 that also played.
Because I think I got the same model you have, which is the fat 80 gig two USB port one.
Yeah, there's an 80 gig 4 USB port one.
Oh, was there? Oh.
Yes.
Well, anyways, go on.
It's an old 80 gig.
So yeah,
anywho's,
it's probably about a year and a half after.
Something like that. Anyways, that went on. They did it again, but this point on, it's just like, yeah, we're not gonna do it. And you're right. They'll have to add that cell processor because these games are made differently, right? But it's just it's a shame because
it's
very much a shame because there's a lot of people out there that are not gonna want to buy it because of that. Obviously, there's a lot of people that can't just part with their system because they have so many games.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
They have so many games that they just don't they don't want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And so depending on the price and stuff like that, they were looking to sell their PS3 and then get a PS4, and now
they're kind of screwed.
And they're
I get that. They're like, Sony's big thing was that they really try to push that you can stream it through Gaiku, and we talked about, we don't really know the statistics or how they're gonna integrate that. Like if I own Uncharted 3 am I gonna have to repurchase it to play it through Gaikai? We don't know that yet. But the thing is, they really try to purchase it to try and rest everyone's worries of that. But like, hey, you can stream all those games now, guys. But I really have nothing to say to it because it sucks. It really does. And unfortunately, I can probably guarantee that Microsoft can follow suit because I mean, they really didn't even have backwards compatibility in the 360. Not only that, but they axed because they were doing patches. I remember to slightly update it so you could play some old games, but they axed that fairly quickly because I remember. I guess I bought my Xbox about a year after it launched, and I had it for, I think, 2-3 months after I had it. They already like, yep, we're done. We're not going to update the console anymore to play because you had to emulate the games. What they were updating into emulators, and they're like, we're done because it was
I was lucky.
it was unfortunately it wasn't worth it. They said in their eyes. They're like, people are slowly moving off of those. No one's really playing. Like this is Microsoft, but then again, these are also the guys who killed the Xbox. Couple years into 360 while PlayStation supported PS2 for God knows how many years compared to
That's
I
true.
mean like how long I don't remember. It was like 3 years into Xbox 360 when you went to GameStop and they're like, hey, trade in your Xboxes and Xbox games now because like as of this date, like it was like March something, we're done. Like we will not accept them, we will not sell them or anything. That's it.
Well, they'll sell them.
Well, they'll sell them, but they were like once we're out of stock, like that's it, they're gone.
Yeah.
So I can guarantee Xbox will follow suit, and they will probably have something similar.
Probably.
So,
well, I hope. Well, I hope not. Just because of the fact that, like I said, it's been a long generation and the longest generation for gaming, and we have
definitely.
so many. There's a lot of people who have so many games that it's just like a lot of people will be like, you know what? It's not even worth it getting this new system. Because I have this system with a bunch of games and stuff like that, like and all my saves and all that crap. And,
which I see why that's why Sony's probably not going to stop supporting the PlayStation 3 because they're probably like the PlayStation 3 is now finally profitable for them. So
about time.
Yeah, right. So and not only that, but the Sony doesn't make money on the console; they make the money on the software. So that's probably why you're going to see them still support the PlayStation 3 very heavily, even in the PlayStation 4. They're like, hey, we get it. So we're still going to be releasing games, but PlayStation 4 is here for you when you do want to upgrade. But if you want to stick with PlayStation 3, that's cool. We're still going to support it. Like I said earlier, I think on this, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast, like they're updating Gaikai to even be on PS3. Now, whether it's as good as PS4, I really highly doubt that. But they're going to try and put that on there as well. Kind of be like, here's the future, guys. Get used to it.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to understand about it or whatever is like when you were moving from media. Like when you had
cartridges.
Yeah, the cartridges, right?
Yeah.
Like you have the Super Nintendo or whatever. That's one cartridge. Is like, oh well, we have to use a bigger cartridge. We need bigger games. We have to fit them on here. So it's like then you got your N64 cartridges, right?
Love the N64.
Yeah, right. And then like when you're going from N64 to GameCube, it's like we need a bigger disc. We have to do this. So like we don't want to cut support for it, but you could understand that this was going on, right? And then so you move to a disc, and then the Wii is able to take care of both of these discs. Places, PlayStation 1's like you're sticking with the same format, bigger disc, just slide it in. Now we're still I doubt that we're seeing like the end of retail like disc games or whatever.
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
going to see that. But there's really like in the eye of the average consumer, like there's really no reason why I can't play my games. It may not. Well, there's tons of reasons. That's what I not.
You're a
that's not what
tech
I
guy.
mean to
Come on,
say.
Burnley.
There's tons of reasons you couldn't. But then it's much harder to understand.
It really is. Like you said it earlier, like they're both on Blu-rays. Why is this tough? Why is it hard for the PlayStation to understand this? It's like, hey, it's a Blu-ray disc. You should play because it's a Blu-ray player. So
Well, that's a lot of people that are going to be bringing.
There are probably a lot of
Yeah.
people that have been like, what the fuck, man? Aren't these all the
Yeah.
same?
And why is it? Can I like? I don't know. It's just it's so weird. Like I can.
You know
play
what I just
a
noticed,
game
guys?
From,
You know what I just got? A lot of games that I have for my Xbox, like Xbox, not the Xbox 360,
Mhm.
like I won't be able to play on the new Xbox if I trade up my Xbox 360. God dang it!
Yeah, no, yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
that's gonna suck.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
regardless if it's backwards compatible or not, like I
Yeah,
can't get
it's
rid
just-
of my 360.
Continuing on with it looks like there's a new article here. There's a they pretty much Sony kind of talked about their app that will bring you to allow you to do all this stuff. Did I mention it all? But the whole you can now make they're going to release an app where you can make purchases on the app, which then will turn on your console at home, download while you're at work. So when you come home, it'll be downloaded and ready to go right from the get go. So you don't have to sit there, purchase, download at home. It all does it through your phone now. Reading this, it seems like it's going to be similar to Smart Glass, Microsoft Smart Glass, which I figured. I mean, have you guys used Smart Glass at all?
I have not.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty the way it works. Okay. Like I love laying in bed, watching it, and just not even pointing my phone, but just turning it on. Smart Glass, beep beep beep, off. So it's really cool.
Netflix with that?
Huh?
Can you turn on Netflix?
Yeah.
With that?
Like so, what you can do is you can launch Smart Glass, and then your Xbox is just sitting at the dashboard. You can go like Xbox launch, and it'll launch it, and then it'll turn into a remote control, so then you can scroll through it, and you can select it, and then you can even shut off your console through it all through your phone, so you don't have to ever get your bulky controller. I love it. It's so convenient. So it seems like it's going to be similar to that, but according to this, Microsoft might probably do this as well. It says Sony is hoping to expand it, make it a little more deeper than the Smart Glass, so there's a bit more to do, little regarding purchases and how all that works, but also it will be transferred to the Vita. So yet again, me and my 5 other friends who have the Vita, because we're the only ones in the world who have the Vita, we'll be able to download this and use it. That was the other bit. Let's see what else we got in here. Did you guys hear that the controller also has a headphone jack and all that, so you can now hook up like a
very interesting.
Yeah, so you can hook.
Oh, that's good.
You can hook and talk to people through that.
Yeah,
that's what we're missing. We're missing like any like their online.
Yeah, we haven't nothing. Really,
nothing.
Huh?
That I gotta assume is probably gonna be at E3.
Yeah.
Like this was just here it is, because I bet you they like I said they did this to get in front of Microsoft, to get everyone buzzing about PlayStation. Because right now I'm sure Microsoft isn't sweating bullets. They're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I'm sure they're probably just like, oh wow, that's interesting. But PlayStation did this because they want people talking about PlayStation. Because if Microsoft did this, like you said, they would probably Sony will be forgotten quickly, because everyone would be like, the Microsoft did it. So Sony had to do this because they had to get in front of Microsoft to be like everyone. Because now look at this, we dedicated almost an entire episode here to PlayStation. So this is getting everyone talking. But then we probably would have because of me anyways. But just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that to them was just to get the buzz, like I said, because now they got everyone. They were, like I said, they were trending on Twitter with 2 categories: the hashtag PS4 and hashtag PlayStation Memories. Those were their 2 top trending on all of Twitter. Like it's very tough to become a trending thing on Twitter, and to become the top 2 slots is kind of big in social media. So that actually is huge for them to do that. So, however Microsoft responds will be interesting, but I look at that is kind of a big thing. I don't know how we kind of got on that, but that I mean, like I said, they got to get people talking, because right now everyone's talking about it. Everyone that plays games knows about it. I bet you anything Yahoo News has it. I bet you I bet you CNN is probably talking about it too. Hey guys, PlayStation 4 has been announced. Crazy stuff from over there, Sony. Like, so I mean, it's getting everyone talking. Microsoft will too, but Sony had to get out first, because if they didn't, Microsoft would just overshadow them easily. Or at least here in America, because I do know that their biggest market is in Japan and Europe. So, but at least here in America, where we are the largest market. So while Sony's big in Europe and Japan, the U.S. has the largest consumption of video games. So to do that, they had to get out in front of Microsoft in order to blossom the whole PlayStation lifestyle here in America first. Okay. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
Okay. Holiday 2013. If no one was really aware of that.
Holiday 2013.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. I'm contemplating buying one launch. I'm very skeptical. I probably won't, because I would love to, but it's probably more or less just going to come down to money issues. Like, if money wasn't an issue for me, because of my bills and everything.
I mean, you could save like not $10 a month. But
no, I mean, there'll be ways. Like I said, I'll probably find a way. It'd be pretty cool, but I would probably love to get a launch one. But I don't think I probably will pick one up next year. Honestly, probably next summer. Let a few games come out, see what else is announced on the horizon. But
True.
also let some of my final final games on this generation linger. God of War Ascension, because I want to play that multiplayer a lot. Really bad.
Yes.
Games is phenomenal.
It's awesome.
And then Last of Us is gonna be good too.
Yeah.
And then I also want to do another game too. I forgot what game it was. Not coming to mind.
I think I'm with you though. I'm probably gonna. Only console I'll probably end up buying this year is the Wii, and then next year, like probably middle of the year when something is coming out.
I mean, I want to get an Xbox too. The next Xbox. I can guarantee you guys I will have one. But when, I don't know. It more or less comes down to. The reason I'm buying Sony is not because I'm a Sony fan, but I bought Xbox 360 before the PS3 because Xbox, they had the games. I wanted the new stuff, and PlayStation didn't have it. Like, they had the new Splinter Cell, even though that was on old generations, but I liked the new stuff, and Sony wasn't getting those at the time. So
yeah, I remember when there was that lag.
Yeah, there was that huge lag for third parties.
Third-party stuff. It's like, oh, Xbox got it first.
Yeah.
The BioShock, Xbox got it first, and then it's just like, oh, then.
Yeah, exactly. Years later.
So it's like,
so
oh, here's BioShock. I beat that shit already.
That's what I'm saying, and I think Sony learned. Like, I mean, at least it sounds like that's why I'm gonna probably wait. But it seems like they got the third parties on board now. Not only that, but they have their first parties killing it. I mean. The only first-party studios we heard from was Guerrilla and Sucker Punch, which are only 2 out of I think they own 13 or 15 studios.
Yeah,
they own
something like that.
They own quite a bit of studios. So what the hell are like the other 11, 12 working on? They got to be PS4 games. Got to be. I mean, well, we know Media Molecule is working on one. So between the exclusives and all the full third-party support, I'm very excited for PS4. Now, not to say I'm not excited for Xbox, but they need to wow me on exclusives because I'm not a big Halo fan, and I don't play Forza, and
you play Gears.
I'm excited for Gears, but I'm not excited for the new one.
No, I'm not either.
You know what? And it's a little sad too because I've been reading online. It was leaked online. A little tangent for the listeners. The Gears of War Judgment was leaked online to torrent sites, and I've been reading online. A lot of people aren't very pleased with it. It's not that it's like a bad game. They're just like, it isn't really Gears of War. Because People Can Fly did it. The guys who did Bulletstorm. Epic purchased them a few years back. And a lot of people are saying that the stuff they did to it, they don't like. And not only that, but the story's pretty weak, too. I guess kind of the whole Cole and Baird are younger and are being court-martialed for their actions on the field. So, but this is these are torrent sites that I've been reading these on, and of course, some people post on IGN. So how much can I trust the internet? You really can't. But this is just comment stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bit of a disappointment. I'm not pumped for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not pumped.
I was ecstatic for 3. I was so stoked for 3 to come out.
I was not excited for 3 at all until I played the demo. And then that was that was my game that I played that all year.
I loved Gears of War 3. I loved the 4-player co-op and that I jumped into so many people's games to just play that game.
Honestly, I wasn't I didn't have an Xbox when the first one came out. Right? When the first Gears of War. So I didn't have an Xbox when the first one came out, and I went to a junior's pad to play it and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is really cool, but I don't know. I wasn't excited for anything of Gears of War up until I beat number 2. Like I beat number 1 and I was like, okay.
I'm with you.
And then I beat the second one. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I beat 1. I didn't think it was cool. I love playing co-op with my brother. That was pretty sweet. I played 2 because my brother bought it yet again. And it was fun. I kind of played multiplayer this time because, Gears of War 1 came out. No one really knew what multiplayer was online yet.
Yeah.
So then 2 came out, played that, and I played multiplayer. I was like, this game's fun.
Dope, right?
It's pretty fun. And then 3, the game looked gorgeous, very pretty. And I was excited for it. So the Judgment actually makes me very sad that I really don't care. I'm just not excited for that game.
For the slew of games coming out next month.
Yeah.
That is definitely one that I'm not. I think the ones I'm looking forward to are definitely God of War. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the one on my list.
Oh, yeah.
next month. God of War. They have the Heart of the Swarm coming out for StarCraft.
It's gonna be very good. It's gonna be very good.
And then I already pre-ordered the new Naruto game that's coming out.
Oh, jeez, Naruto
Yeah.
Shippuden.
Yeah, heck yeah. Because the last one the last one they did, it was more of a kind of a like a summary, I guess you could say, like the story. Because me and Bilma played it, and we played the story, and it wasn't like Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 where you're doing like these awesome like looking like boss battles and stuff like that. They didn't do that. It was just more of like you choose a character and you go through like a summary of him, and it's where I'm like, they balanced out some of the fighting mechanics on there, which I liked, but that's pretty much it. So I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this one. I'm really excited for this one because now it's continuing off of where
nice.
it left off.
Okay. I'll probably try it at your place.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then I don't know if I think something's coming out next month for the Wii U. I can't remember. When is Pikmin coming out?
I don't think they've announced a release date for that yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Who isn't?
Yeah. But yeah, those God of War is not on my
Yeah.
list again.
It's just
God of
it's-
War. Sorry about that.
It's
Gears of War.
Gears of War. It's interesting. I mean, like I said, I think for me the biggest thing is I don't like really what they're doing with the story regarding like Cole and Baird are younger and they know each other. I would have preferred a young Marcus and a Dom and then Dom's brother, if you know the lore, like because it was
Yeah.
quick lore is Marcus and Dom's brother were best friends, and Dom's brother then died, and then Marcus promised his brother that he would protect him. That's kind of how Dom and him became better friends. They were all friends in the end, but that's how they became like close.
That would have
Super
been a
close.
lot better. I don't even know
But-
why Baird was there.
Like,
When I saw him
I
in
was
the
like, yeah,
trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, why the hell did they choose these guys? Not only that, but I remember in one that Cole and Baird didn't even know each other. Because, like, when you meet Cole, Baird's like, oh, shit, it's the Cole train, man. Oh, I love you. Can I get an autograph? And he's like, woo, Cole train. So they don't even know each other. But then in this one, they're showing that as if they were, like, partners in crime back in the day. And it's like, what? Because I could have sworn that they didn't even know each other in this
Well,
lore.
it's not that they they didn't know each other. It could have been something like, oh, well, there you are, Coltrane.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's just
You're
go
putting
ahead.
too much into the story of Gears of War.
But see,
There's nothing
I get that. That's not a story, but I enjoy story, and I think I kind of like the lore of it, and I don't know. I just like George said, it's just a weird thing that they're doing Baird. It's just weird. Like, is Baird even a favorite character?
I think
Coltrane.
a lot of people fucking hate Baird.
I was saying, from what I know, everyone hated him.
He's
No one
just
plays him as a.
jerk. He's just a big prick.
He's a dick.
He's a dick.
Yeah, man.
So
I like.
But
what was
everybody
his
loves
name?
Coltrane, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
Coltrane.
loves Coltrane. Everyone loves that guy. So it's
What was the guy that with the mask all the time? What was his name?
Taj?
No,
Wait, which one?
the guy with the. Because there's we got Dom, we got Marcus, we got Cole, we got Baird. Who's the last one?
Hoffman?
No,
No, it's the Colonel.
man.
No,
Is-
man.
What are you talking about?
The guy.
the guy with the mask all the
There's
time.
like 3 brothers or something. There's 4 brothers. Got like all killed except him.
Oh, Carmine.
Carmine.
That's
I
it.
love
That's
Carmine. Yes, Carmine.
He lived, didn't he?
No, well, yeah, the older brother or whatever.
They say everyone voted to keep him alive because all the other Carmines died.
Yeah, man.
I honestly think that they were probably gonna keep him alive anyways. Like even if everyone voted to kill him, there's just a part of me that I was like they're gonna keep him alive just for shits and giggles because they've all died. But
Poor Carmine's, man.
But back to PlayStation. I think kind of to wrap up this week's episode. That's it. I think we discussed everything about it.
Right.
Anything else you guys want to throw
So,
anything on there?
Yeah, I wanted to see, just like if you guys can think of, I mean, seeing as a Sony day, right?
Yeah.
So we've gone through, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Now we're heading to PlayStation 4. Looking back on these systems, which one was your favorite? And give me like 2 games that you thought were like just like you couldn't stop playing.
Very easy. First one is Kingdom Hearts 2. I have never read 100% of the game. Don't give me that look. Don't
Okay,
get
Georgie.
100% of 2. So like the first one, I played it a lot, but I didn't 100% it because it got frustrating and I was younger. Like, but then I found out there was a secret trailer and I was like, oh hell yeah, I gotta try that. But 1, it was tough. I never did it. And 2, when that came out, ooh, I loved it. I got all Ultimate Weapon pluses. I got 100% secret trailer, everything. So 2, was the biggest one. Now the second game on the generation that took up all my time, that actually is a tougher one. I would probably say Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like, because true, it didn't look very good, but to have that whole state to go to, like, they nailed the atmosphere. Like, I love driving through Los Santos.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody fucking loves San Andreas.
Like,
okay, give me a console exclusive though.
Okay, a console
Give me a
exclusive.
console exclusive.
Probably
Because you said Kingdom. Did you said the second Kingdom Hearts? Right?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
That was exclusive, and then Grand Theft Auto, which was exclusive, but then became multi-platform. Probably. Yeah, that's a tough one. There's so many good games on the PlayStation 2 that I enjoyed.
Can you throw some out there for you?
Does Vice City count as an exclusive?
No, dog.
Because Vice City was another phenomenal.
Well, does it have to be exclusive?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's going.
Okay.
That's why it's Sony, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably the Jack, not the Jack series. What am I thinking? That was a series.
You're talking about
Jack and
Ratchet
Dax.
and Clank?
No, Jack and Daxter was what I was thinking.
Oh.
You know, probably honestly God of War. I enjoyed 1 and 2 very, very much. I enjoyed 1. 1 actually was the one who was the game that got me really into David Jaffe, the game director on it. And I listened to him speak at conferences and stuff. And he's another driving factor for why I wanted to get in video games, because God of War 1 and 2, God of War 1 at least, which he directed and he kind of helped produce too. God of War 1 was so good in design and the combat. Everything was just fluid about it, and it was fun. And it never took itself too seriously, but then it kind of did, because it's like, we want you to take it seriously, but we really don't. That's why we allow you to kind of screw girls in this minigame. So,
Oh, God.
So
That
it was
Burnley's favorite part.
I could tell. So it was such a great game, but my love for it, like I said, mainly probably came down to Jaffe, because he promoted the game a lot coming up to it. So I saw all those videos because I was very interested in the game. Then I saw him speak, and then since then he's up there with like the Kojimas of why I want to do game design, because he knows what it takes to make a good game.
Okay.
And so then listening to him talk about God of War, he was open. He's like, I hate combat games. He's like, I think it's stupid. He's like, I'm a car guy. He's like, why do you think I made Twisted Metal? Like, I love car combat games. And he's like, then going to God of War, he sold it to me, because he's just like, he's like, I hate those games. He's like, but we created a system that was for anyone. You can do the combos. You can juggle. He's like, or you can just sit there and button mash square. It's for so many people. And then just the design and epic scope that they tried to kind of portray, the epicness of it, was so good. And that's why I kind of really respect Jaffe too, in that sense. And that's why I really like the God of War series and what he built for it.
Okay.
Also, Jaffe inspired me to get into game design, because he's a guy, one of the few guys out there that is a game director with no experience really in anything game design. Like, so he doesn't program. He hates programming.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who doesn't?
And all his like interviews, like, he said God of War came up like similar like Harry Potter. He just started drawing it on a napkin in a coffee shop with some other guys that work at Sony. That was like, he's like, and then God of War, that's how we got into this game on God of War. So he's so he just has like the design roots. That's what I would love to do, is just like design, because I can write, type, and do all that stuff very well. Like, just create a world. I can create a world for you in 5 minutes, barely, and just blow your mind. And that's
oddly sexual, Travis.
You made it very sexual. I was talking about your mind.
Okay. No, it's
Nasty.
just the way
So-
you were looking at me. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yes, I was looking at
That's
him very
funny.
sexually. So those are my games: God of War and Kingdom Hearts 2. Probably are the games. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, kind of combination on that one, are probably the biggest games that shaped my PlayStation experience. Are
Okay.
amongst them, like to why I love Sony so much, and yeah, that's probably it.
Burnley?
For me, so
I'm hearing.
best PlayStation experience,
Oh, what your favorite console,
favorite
and
console,
then 2 games
and 2 games
from that
on
console.
that same console.
Oh, favorite console was 3. Sorry, PlayStation
3?
3.
Well, why'd you?
But all you did was talk about PS2
I
games.
did.
Oh yeah, well I thought we were talking about the era. Like, I enjoyed the PlayStation 2 console and the games on it, but I enjoy the PlayStation 3. I think it's a very
You
phenomenal
think it's the
console.
best one? Okay.
Yeah, because of what they did for that thing. Like yeah. Sorry.
Safe to say that Uncharted is probably one of them. Up
Oh
there.
yeah, on this generation, like I said, because I was talking about overall, like I enjoy the Kingdom Hearts series and God of War series, but on this generation, probably Uncharted 3
And
and on PlayStation 3, Uncharted 3 and Fortunately, I can't pick another exclusive. I have to go with Red Dead Redemption. Like, I loved Red Dead Redemption. Phenomenal game. It's in Rockstar. It's
Fuck it.
But anyways,
PS1. No, fuck it. PS1.
Oh, now we're doing all
No,
consoles?
this is all consoles.
Okay.
PS1, 2 exclusives.
Oh, man. That one. I would have to say, shit, PS1. Final Fantasy 7. You can't. Final Fantasy 7 and 8, actually. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead, Travis.
We've had this conversation. So I'm gonna do 7 and 8, but I'll let Burnley go because I've been talking for quite a bit. I gotta rest my-
Go ahead.
Favorite PS1?
Let's start from the point.
Final Fantasy 9.
Oh,
By
sticking that
far,
knife in there.
the best of the Final Fantasy games, but that's okay.
Oh.
Some people don't have.
Hey, no,
my taste.
I have great taste. Hironobu Sakaguchi says the 9 was his.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I support
And
that.
8 is your favorite. Okay, great.
Where the fuck's Pedro, man?
He's gonna listen to this and laugh. So.
Oh, man.
All right.
like-
Do you have a second one?
Second one for PlayStation 1?
One.
Probably because it has my strongest experience with it was
Okay.
the first Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
And-
yeah.
Ooh, great
Well,
game.
you know, like at the time, I couldn't really tell you if I thought it was a great game or not. The only reason it was the first time it introduced me to like death in games.
Also, that's where you turn south. Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, that's where you turn south.
Where I turned south.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
you started being weird
No.
with death. And
Oh no, it was terrible because like I got it on a demo for at Metal Gear Solid. It was like one of those like
yeah, one of those,
PlayStation like what is it like it come in a little magazine. You get a disc.
Yeah,
and
you
it
get
has
a
ton of
disc with like 10
That
demos
was-
or something
Yeah,
like that,
do you
right?
remember what it was like? Something. It had a
Something
name.
weird, yeah. Something.
Okay,
Yeah, go on.
it was like Cave or no, it wasn't Cave.
Go ahead.
Okay, but
Metal
anyway,
Gear.
like so, yeah, like I booted this up. Like it was on that disc or whatever, and I played the other games on it, and I never clicked on it because it said M, and I was terrified.
Being a good boy.
You know, and I was like, oh no, it's bad. You know, like something's wrong with it. And then so like no, one day I was like feeling adventurous. You know.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. I'm gonna click on this
So
game.
I clicked on that game, and it was like, oh, this cool, like cinematic, and like I died within a couple seconds, obviously.
You
But
suck
then
at games.
I get to the top or whatever. You're in this cool ice place or whatever. You're in Antarctica or whatever, and just running around. And I see a guy, and he sees me actually, and I run around the box, and I come up behind him. I'm like, I'm gonna punch him, and then I grab him, and like I'm choking him. And I'm like, oh, how do I let him go? And I just keep pressing square until he died.
Just like,
So-
oh. It
yeah,
hurts you?
and it was just, you see little blood and like,
PlayStation 1 blood.
yeah, just like, 4
Yummy.
pixels worth of
Yeah.
red dots, and that ruined my day.
It ruined your day.
'Cause I thought it
Ladies
was
and
the
gentlemen,
worst.
that ruined Burnley's day.
It was just, I felt so terrible that like, it's like, I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill him. But anyway, that's the reason why.
This is
when I
how
came back-
innocent he was,
when I
Travis. You don't know. This is how innocent Burnley was. He was such a...
I'm sure you probably lost your shit when you saw a boob for the first time.
No. Like that's probably because it was one of my stronger. Both that and Final Fantasy IX were two
Very
incredibly strong experiences
adult
for
games,
me.
if you will. Kind of.
Yeah, like I guess.
Well, not Final
IX
Fantasy, right?
Final Fantasy IX had some adult themes
Okay.
with it, but I mean, like I love
Nothing
7,
like Metal Gear.
Yeah.
and I
Metal-
really enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
it just did.
Metal Gear is a great series. I honestly wish I could just play through those games, but I mean, I love. It sounds like they're phenomenal games. I read the lore. Like I think
You
it's.
haven't played any of them?
I played them.
Oh,
I've just never beaten them.
none of them. Not even 2.
Not even two. I'm tempted to buy the HD ones. I think Nasser.
Nasser was supposed
Yeah,
to let you
He's
borrow.
gonna let me borrow them. He said so I could try them, so it saves me money. Because I mean, like I said, I would love to play them and beat them. But
Okay.
beat them. I played them. Just
Okay.
I'll
PlayStation 2.
yeah, PlayStation 2 now.
PlayStation 2. Is it okay if I do the same one
Yeah,
as Travis?
That's fine.
Oh, no, that's fine, though, obviously.
Okay. Well, not the like Kingdom Hearts 2, great game, but Kingdom Hearts 1 was
Okay.
You know, it was a thing that it turned me.
You got to deal with this.
It
'Cause
turned
No,
me into
obviously
what-
I do have to
It
deal
turned
with
me
this.
into what I am.
You're gonna buy the
know.
HD remakes too.
And I have all the games, dude.
Well, you're gonna buy the HD remakes.
I
right?
have to because I collect them.
All right, go on. Sorry, Brandon.
But like I think I'm gonna like save some stuff like how I feel about it for
yeah, definitely
for our podcast
for the
later. And I think Travis touched on the biggest ones.
Yeah.
You know, like exact same way. Oh, my bad.
yeah.
Exact same feelings as Travis about it.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
It's just, they're just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, fans will have an episode on this.
Yes.
Sneak
Yeah.
peek.
Sneak.
The story, it really is so gargled. It's tough to understand what's going on, but it's just a Disney action game. It's kind of a game that, I mean, we like Final Fantasy or Square stuff, and we like Disney, and it's an interesting mashup. Not only that, but for people who like Japanese anime, it's got that anime kind of story in there of star-crossed lovers, and it I don't know.
Yeah.
It touches your heart, in my opinion. Sorry, but go on. Finish. It's your second
Second
game.
PS2.
Second PS2 game.
Mm-hmm.
God.
You're pretty much like gargling over Metal Gear Solid 2. Am I safe to say that Metal Gear Solid 2 was one of yours?
Yo, yeah, that is one of my favorite all-time games.
Oh, there you go.
But
Oh no, not for PS2 though.
well, like it's just that like
Was there something else? Damn, if there's something else, I want to hear it. What's up?
well, like one game that I really really enjoyed and just like beat to hell and back was the first Jack and Daxter.
Nice. Okay.
Game. Very good
Like yeah, like I thought it was just a perfect platformer. I liked everything about that game.
Okay.
Like I think that's why like MGS2 like is one of my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite games, but I can see glaring problems with it, much like Kingdom Hearts, where
That
if I look-
camera.
okay, well yeah, even more than just the camera though, you know.
What is man that camera?
Yeah, but okay, I think it's.
Jack and Dexter.
I think it's safe to say, yeah, I would say Jack and Daxter.
Nice. Okay.
And then, do I have to do 3?
Yeah, PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3. Oh, it's not an exclusive though. I was gonna say Dante's Inferno.
I did Red Dead for PS3. so-
Dante. Well, he got away, I guess. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
cut that
PlayStation
too.
3.
PlayStation 3.
Okay.
One of my favorite, even though it was much maligned, was Dante's Inferno. You know, I'm a sucker for like heaven, hell, stuff like that. But it was just like this. Dante's Inferno felt even more oppressive than God of War. God of War, you felt like you were just super powerful. You know, you're just gonna get out there and murder everything. Whereas with Dante, you felt the exact opposite. You were murdering everything, but you couldn't. And that creepy, like, you know, lady that squirts like babies out of her boobs.
No,
Yeah, like,
that
or like-
disturbed you.
or like the big penis thing. Oh man, I
Nice.
love that big penis monster thing. Oh my god. Or she's just like,
Oh, what about the whores that like they open their like vaginas?
That's
and-
the one I'm talking
Oh, that's
about,
what you're
man.
talking about?
Oh
Okay.
man, I love that.
Man,
Ah.
it's oh my god, I love that game. It scared the hell out of me, but I love that game. You know, visually beautiful yet disturbing at the same time. Okay, so you said
Dante's
Dante's Inferno for 1.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take a wild guess
I
and say
platinumed that
Little
game.
Big Planet for
Yeah.
the next one.
Little Big Planet.
Little
That's,
Big Planet.
Good
like
choice.
all of these years, that is a game that like I constantly draw inspiration and like joy from. Like just thinking about Little Big Planet.
Okay.
You know, like
That
there are a few games that I can just look back on that like
Definitely.
and enjoy.
That's good to know because that's actually what something I forgot to talk about. Since we're talking about Media Molecule, I forgot the guy who is the main guy there who also did Little Big Planet. He openly said he's like, if you're the creative type, like PlayStation 4 is where it's at. He's like, because you're gonna be able to create so much stuff on this is what he openly said. So
Good.
sounds like you're gonna enjoy that,
Yeah, right.
Because I can guarantee you there'll probably be a Little Big Planet 3. So
There better be.
so George, what about you?
Awesome. My turn. Yay.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Oh,
Thanks, guys. Come back.
Oh, go ahead.
PS1. I'm gonna say. There's a lot.
Tomb Raider?
Huh?
Tomb Raider?
Not Tomb Raider. No. Not Spyro either. I hate Spyro.
Did you ever download the Nude Raider mod?
No, I didn't.
I remember when that was such a big thing.
I played, I mean, a lot of games. I have to say the staple for one of the games that I played a lot was Crash Bandicoot. The Crash Bandicoot series in there up till Crash Team Racing, pretty much.
Okay.
I
Great game. CTRs.
adore it.
Crash
Is
is phenomenal.
Yes.
It's such a great game. It's I mean, I know everyone was making fun of it because I think Mario Kart came out before that, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
definitely
way
way
before
before that.
Oh,
'cause
that's
we-
right. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was
Super
thinking of 60,
Nintendo, man.
I was thinking of 64. I forgot about Super Nintendo. But yeah, Crash Team Racing was so cool. So cool.
It was,
But
it
go on.
was fun as hell. I love all the Crash games up until Crash Team Racing. I think like maybe like Warped, like the first Warped. But
Okay.
so yeah, definitely I played the hell out of those games. I have all those games and it's fun. I re-downloaded them for free when PSN was giving them away.
Nice.
So I mean it's fun as hell. I love those games. It's tough because I played a lot of like the SmackDown games on there.
Ooh,
that were-
SmackDown vs. Raw?
No, just like it was like SmackDown.
Oh wait, they didn't
SmackDown 1,
combine Raw
SmackDown
yet, did
2.
they?
Nah, not yet. This is old. This is WWF still. I played a lot of those. I want to say those, but then again, there was one gem that kind of just drew me in, and that was before we had or during we had what's it called? We had Smash Brothers on the N64, right? Well, this game, even though I hated Digimon, I adored.
Great series.
Digimon Rumble Arena.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
This one's so good.
Digimon Rumble Arena took hours and hours of my life.
Was that the one where you gotta actually have the monster follow you?
No.
No,
Well,
that's
Digimon World is
Digimon
great.
World. That's a good game.
Okay.
That's a
but
great game.
Digimon Rumble Arena was it was a fighting game.
It was like
Or-
Smash,
yeah,
essentially.
It's kind of like Smash, and it was like, oh, could you do 4 players? I always
Four.
played with 2.
4.
Oh,
You
okay.
can do up
yeah,
to
you can
4.
do 4 players
Okay.
or whatever. You just pick like got them on.
I remember Digimon World, and I remember that game was ridiculous to get the ultimate levels. Like,
Yeah.
Some
like,
bullshit. My
like
guy
you
always
get you get
turned
the
into that green
poo.
turd or
Yeah, you
whatever.
get
Yeah,
the green
mine
poop.
too, man. You don't take it to the restroom.
yeah. Like so, I read online like how to get the ultimates. Like you can get like War Greymon and all them, but it was kind of ridiculous, and I felt unfair because it was. I think if I remember right, it was like based on days, but the days went really quickly. So
Yeah.
like, every time after so many days, your guy would die, and the way you got like War Greymon or like the good ones is you had to like work your ass off to get them. But the thing is they evolved like in the final days, so you only had that monster. I think for like 3 or 4 of the game's time days. So you had to do like whatever big stuff you wanted to do, which there were like kind of things that required that.
That is some balls.
It was ridiculous. Like when I read this, that was actually the first time I felt crushed and kind of betrayed by a company because I was like, why would they do this? This is stupid. Because I remember like it was days, right? It was like you had 30 days with your monster, and then once they died, you got a brand new one, and you
Yeah.
kind of start over again.
Yeah.
Well, didn't it it gave you a slightly different one? Like not a slightly different one, but it was based on what you made.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that they would die eventually.
Yeah.
And like I said, like to get the ultimate one, you had to do so much work to get that form, but you only had like the final hours, and I was like, this is
Yeah,
bullshit.
this is
And it actually felt cheated, like to the point where I didn't want to do that because I was like, this is dumb. Like the work
Yeah.
required. So
I think I got maybe halfway into the game before I dropped it because I was like, "This is too much work."
it was a lot of
This is
work.
too much
It was a
work.
lot of
But
work. Sorry.
definitely, Digimon Rumble Arena. Oh my god, it is such a great game. I took it. Okay.
PS2.
PS2. Well, first one is pretty easy to name, and it's one of those games that I wish they would make a remake of. Oh, not a remake, but like maybe a second one of,
Yeah,
and that
okay.
is War of the Monsters.
That was pretty good.
Yes.
I heard of it, but never played it.
Oh, was
Never.
that-
Well, we load that up today. Like,
Oh, he's got it here.
Of course I have
It's all sticky down there. It sounds like.
There it is, right here.
Oh my god.
Okay,
let's
so
see this.
War of the
Oh,
Monsters.
I do remember this.
Yeah,
But
see?
I never played it though.
Oh, War of the Monsters. You go into a stage. The stage is a city or just an island or something like that, and you're pretty much using the city as your weapon, as your battleground essentially, as you're fighting like this like your opponent and stuff like that. And they have like probably like 10 or 12 characters or so, something like that. And they all get, like you see in the trailer, they all get as big as they do in some way or another. But yeah, man, it's one of those fighting games I spent so much playing, and it's so it was just so fun.
Okay.
You know, you pick up like this what is it, like spike or something, and then you throw it from like across the map, and it actually hits, and then you're over here stunned for a second trying to pull it out, and then you go in, and the specials in there, each of them have like 2 or 3 specials. Oh, they're so fun.
It's just that it's such an interesting game, you know. Like,
Yes.
it came out of nowhere, you know, and it's just like it's a fun premise, and it's just like enjoyable. Like there's nothing like just beating on your friend, you know.
And the cool thing is that I think, if I remember correctly, if you have save files of certain games in there, you get to unlock certain costumes for each. I know there was like if you had like Twisted Metal Black saves in there, you get like like in one of your characters like look like
Sweet Tooth.
it might not have been Sweet Tooth, but I don't know who. I can't remember. I haven't played that game in a while. Definitely that one, War of the Monsters. PlayStation exclusive. Dang, that's tough. That's really tough. Another PlayStation game for PlayStation 2. Throw me ideas, guys. I can't actually do it.
We got Rockstar games, Naughty Dog games, Square Enix games, Kojima games. I mean, I'm just throwing companies out there because I'm sure you can put the games to them. What else? You got Sucker Punch. You got. There's so much shit on. There's so much stuff on PlayStation 2. You know,
Can't think of another one, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I can't
Okay,
remember.
Just probably go to a PlayStation 3 then. None.
So shame. Man, I wish I could
Kind of
say.
more
Oh,
Velocity
okay.
was
You
a
know,
real good
well,
one.
I guess I played a lot of the wrestling games, and those I think the wrestling games shined on the PS2 when those days. So I guess like Just Bring It, Here Comes the Pain. A lot of those I spend my time just like making characters and shit like that, and making arenas, and it took quite a lot of my time, So back then, where wrestling was pretty much at its peak.
Okay.
And it's good. So definitely those were the golden days, I think, for wrestling. PS3. I'm gonna have to go with Little Big Planet series. Definitely.
Great series.
It is definitely one game I got the PS3 for. Is Little Big Planet. It's so fun, even though Burnley's an asshole in that game. And it does not let you have any of the bubbles. He knows the map from like front to back, and like he just screws you at any given moment.
He always wins in the end.
He pretty much always wins.
Yeah.
He pretty much always wins. It's douche. So Little Big Planet for sure. I'm gonna have to say for my last one though, it's gonna have to be. Dang.
So many of those games too. Huh?
Yeah, right. I have so many of those games too. I can't even fucking choose one.
It's the Killzone series, huh?
No Killzone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Uncharted too.
Uncharted 2? Yeah.
No, not Uncharted.
Oh,
is the
Uncharted
series.
is-
But probably the second one is the best one.
Second one is
the best one.
The best one, but the Uncharted series definitely
Yeah,
is
that definitely.
shines. It shines.
Three. I was so disappointed with that story. I love 3 for the multiplayer and how they fine tuned it, but like,
Yeah.
and Catherine Marlowe was a cool villain. She was super good, but then she's like, "I know you passed, but I'm not gonna tell you," and then I'm just gonna send you to a hole. It's like, all right, well, I don't know what the hell why you were pissed off at me. I don't know. So the game was kind of, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are. I think PS2 would be my favorite console. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Oh yes, PS2.
So I love the games on PlayStation 2, but my console, PlayStation 3, that thing is just. I mean, it's got its airs, and openly admit. I mean, there's tons of errors, and it crashes a lot on me. I get the good old 3 beep.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys ever had that?
No.
What are
really?
you talking about?
Maybe it's because I rush them a bit too much. I don't know, but I mean, it happens.
It just shuts down on you?
No. It's just like the game will freeze.
That's cool. It never happened to me.
Yeah.
My Xbox does that to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but PlayStation thing. That's my thing.
That was fun. All right, guys. I think that'll just about do it.
Yeah,
for...
we're probably way over an hour on this one, guys.
Right.
Enjoy this meaty Sony episode.
Yeah.
I'll plug us real quick. Do the whole plug. Follow us on everything, starting at Twitter at DeadFormatR. For those, tweet us, love us, share us, all that good stuff. We love that stuff. Like us on Facebook, comment, share suggestions, whatever you would like. If you would like us to discuss something, just shout out your name because you want to be heard on the internet. We can do that. That is just Dead Format Reviews on Facebook. Send us emails at deadformatreviews@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns, love us, hate us, we don't really care. We'd like to see it all.
Well,
That's about it, guys. That's our plug.
All right. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Now go out and speak some geek.
Yes.
Bye.